today we are talking about virtual technology in real estate. What does the future hold? Our guest speaker will be John Stack. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, and you?
Great, thanks.
John is the co-founder of Roomfl, a virtual staging solution for realtors. Before we start, I wanted to also introduce myself. My name is Jessica Crumbaugh. I am one of the owner of a nationwide company called Allison James Estates and Homes. And I was also a real estate agent for almost 10 years. So I can understand where you guys coming from when it comes to your day-to-day activities. My goal every day is to find ways to bring values to real estate agents and share knowledge without breaking the banks, and to share this knowledge with all real estate agents, not just Allison James Estates and Homes agents. So let's get started. So the word virtual sometimes can scare people away. It scares real estate agent or consumer, and I am the first to deal with this issue, because when we create Allison James Estates and Homes, we used to use the word virtual. And when I used to recruit, people used to tell me, a virtual real estate company, I don't like that. I'm kind of scared. Well, guess what? We are more compliant than any company in the world. And if you don't realize, if you're still not sure about that word, virtual and technology, you are living today. If you use cloud file management system, if you're using DocuSign, we don't sign contract anymore. You are in a virtual world. You are living it. So do not be scared of it. Question number one, how does virtual help realtors or consumer these days?
Well, so for a buyer, we're living in an information economy. You've heard of the application Tinder. Buyers buyers are basically on a website. They're looking at a website and they're just flipping through things. And so it's an information economy. Twitter, just 140 characters. Facebook page gives you very, very little bit. We already know that email is a poor communications vehicle. What we need to do is augment it, okay, and add more reality and get people to place themselves in situ, in a photograph. Okay, and so what we try to do is take a room out of an actual home and virtually stage it. We want to add more reality to it. We want to get the buyer to understand or actually feel like they can be in that room, that they can live in that room. And so we're augmenting through virtual reality a very high lifestyle, a nice lifestyle that's realistic to the buyer. Okay, and that's really our core thing. Okay, how does it help a realtor? Well, it helps a realtor by hedging against that information economy. We want people to get really serious right away. We want to turn that web view into an appointment. Okay, and we're trying to increase the quality of the listing and trying to do that through very, very real feeling about that we're going to invoke in the buyer.
Right, I put a couple tips here. Build emotional connection, right?
Right. We try to stage an emotional connection. We try to connect the buyer.
Save time. You don't need to travel all the time, and I think it's a great tool for global reach.
Right.
Right.
Very much so. Very much so. And we're just on the cutting edge of a lot of those things. When we talk about saving time, I'll tell you a personal story. I started this company because I had a problem. I have a home in New England that's for sale. It's a beautiful home. It's waterfront, but I live here in California. Okay. And when we decided to sell it, it was empty. The tenant had moved out, and I don't think empty homes sell as well as furnished homes. And so
no, they don't.
You've got to do something. We wanted to get the listing up, and so I contacted some folks I know who do essentially the same thing, but for the furniture industry. They design furniture, take photographs of furniture, make them real through software, and we ended up virtually staging the home that way. We got the listing up with virtual.
Now, besides staging, because I know you are in staging, what are the current offerings in virtual?
Well, so there's quite a few. I mean, right now, and there's a few now. And I think it's early. Company owned by Zillow called Hutch. It has a mobile app that you can do virtual design of an environment and take photographs, or basically save photographs within the app of something that you end up designing. So
what is it called?
It's called Hutch.
Hutch.
Okay, and then there's a product called Modsy, and both of those products are kind of do-it-yourself. Okay, you're going to do it on your mobile phone or on your tablet, and take photos of your interior. It'll strip out some of the furnishings, and then place furniture in there. Now, Hutch has a different play than us. What they're trying to do is sell you furniture.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
they do.
And Modsy is heading in that direction too. We're heading in the direction of arming buyers for buying a house. We're arming them with better information. We're heading in that direction. Okay.
And I don't think the real estate agent should spend their time on designing a home. That's not what they do for a living. They should be selling.
They're either designers
and
or
hiring
sellers.
A professional if you decide to go with virtual staging.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to stay in your swim lane and do what you're good at.
Yes.
So
stick to real estate.
Stick to real estate. Stick to selling. Stick to getting a sale.
What does the virtual future hold in regards to real estate?
Well, I think things are changing dramatically. I think one of the things that's happening now is virtual staging is occurring. There's several companies out there. Another company sells 3D cameras, and they're marketing to real estate photographers. There's Smart Tour company, which is Alphabet Funding, which is Google's funding arm. And so there's a lot of things coming in the virtual space. Virtual tour, basically where you can walk around through augmented reality, or a virtual reality, pardon me, wearing a headset and actually walking through the house. So things like that are developing. Do not wear high
heels when you do it.
Oh my gosh.
Do not. I've done it. And I did not drink any wine. I wear high heels and wear the glasses and
that's where you need a seatbelt or something to hold on to yourself. So there's a lot of development happening right now where you can, Facebook, for example, displays a panoramic image. And so on your iPhone, you can take a panoramic image of something and 360. And that's very accessible via the web now as well, if you have a software developer to do that kind of thing. We're actually heading in that direction too, a little later on this year, but in a lot different way. So I won't talk about that now. Right now we're staying with strictly a 2D photograph that's very photorealistic, very, very real.
Now let's go back 20 years ago. I think Facebook did not exist. It was created in early 2000, maybe 2004. Zillow did not exist.
Zillow wasn't there.
20 years ago. I don't think anyone was using it. People used to use a CRM system 20 years ago. Yeah. I think Salesforce was created in 99, but maybe, okay.
Yeah, in some way.
In some way. Cloud, fire management did not exist.
Nope.
Did the MLS exist 20 years? I was not in real estate.
MLS existed 20 years ago.
It did exist in 20 years ago.
Yeah, in fact, I don't know if it's changed all that much, but it's pretty robust, and it's been out there.
Okay. Now we know we cannot live without any of these tools today. No. Facebook, Zillow, CRM, Cloud, Fire, no way. No. Now the question is, what do you see real estate agent doing virtually different in 20 years from now?
That's really difficult. I don't even know if there will be real estate agents 20 years from now.
No!
But I'll say in 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
We are going to be here, John.
In 5 years,
Strong.
what I think is going to happen is that we've got a convergence of 3 different things that are huge. Okay, we have virtual reality, where you can have a completely augmented experience with all the information you need as you're going through the house without even going to the house. Okay, a buyer is going to be able to look at a refrigerator in a virtual experience, find out the model number, what the reviews are of that refrigerator, see if there's any warranty left on that refrigerator. Okay, now those are kind of informational things to the buyer. Okay, but the seller and the seller's agent is going to get a lot of data. Okay, they're going to know what the buyer looked at. They're going to understand how to connect their sales ability to what that buyer looked at. They're going to have all sorts of data.
More data than
more data that's going to augment their ability to close a sale, because they're going to know what that seller is interested in, what they looked at, and that's coming. Okay.
And that's because of what we're doing today.
That's because of what we're doing today.
We're keeping data, and we're going to use it in 20 years.
2 different things, which is artificial intelligence, better algorithms, more data collected, okay, out of those experiences, and then connecting that to ultra-realistic situations, you know, in the comfort of your own home or sitting at a stoplight, which is what happens now, right? Yeah, okay, sorry, don't text while driving.
No, not even at a stoplight. How is virtual going to shape the potential buyer's experience and the realtor's effectiveness in the buying and selling process?
Well, I think sellers need to arm buyers with the information that they need to make an affirmative decision. And that hasn't changed for years and years and years. You know, if you don't arm a buyer with all the information they need to make an affirmative decision, you're not selling a property. So let's operate from that standpoint. Once again, it comes back to more information and also augmenting their experience with things can be this way. Okay.
It's too much information. Sometimes can like confuse the consumer. They're getting way too much details information these days.
Absolutely.
That it can confuse and can make our work harder sometimes.
Well, I think you're right.
Because they think they know better than us. It's like you going to the doctor, right?
Yeah.
And you said, oh, I Googled it, and that's what I have. Oh, excuse me, I'm a doctor. I think I know. And the same thing for us as real estate agent. It's like, oh, well, if Zillow told you, I mean.
Well, yeah,
one, right?
It is a tough one, but I think that's kind of our job. You know, that's the technologist's job, or that's the startup's job, or the web company's job, to basically tie ourselves to what people want. Okay, and if we're not doing that, we're not successful, of course. But I believe in it, releasing information in stages, and I think through profiling and trying to understand what the user has done in the past, the buyer in this case, you know, being sensitive to, okay, they really only want this kind of information, let's only present that. But prompt them to say, do you want a little bit more? And basically unfold an experience in front of them. And that's something that I think we actually do in a way where we have real photographs of the property, and then we have virtually staged photographs of the property. We're unfolding information about how it is now, and then how it can be in the future. Which
we do have. I put a little slide here, right here. I don't know if people can see.
Yeah.
Pretty well, but you have one. Like...
I'll point to this. This is actually my house, and these are on the listing. In the upper left-hand corner is the dining room portion. It's an open interior, and we've got 3 French doors in the front of this house, and it's looking out to the water essentially. That was the upper left was the dining room on the before, and on the after is virtually staged. Okay, where we did change the floor because it's difficult to do that. But we did add a lot of furniture and a lot of nice furnishings to it. We still kept the background. Of course, the actual
it looks real.
Look outside. Okay, on the left-hand side is just one of the bedrooms, and on the right-hand side is virtually staged furniture. And I want to point out right now that this furniture was created by people that already work in the business doing magazine ads of furniture on a virtual basis.
Okay.
So our company value, my team's value is to make things as real as possible.
So you have designers.
We have designers. Okay, we don't design furniture. We take existing product and replicate them in 3D and highly photorealistic way. So,
and that's what makes you different.
Yeah. It's actually a huge business challenge for us because there's a lot of work to make that table work. Okay, we have that's a 3D asset that we add to the photograph. And once we figure out in the photograph, we show it before and after, but we could actually change.
Can you personalize too on the wall and based on you can do pretty much anything.
We can add a mural,
right?
we can do anything. And if there's existing elements within the image, we can use those as well. Sometimes we have to make them 3D as well. We can actually change the camera angle and the shading. We can actually change the date when this was taken probably in the morning, but we can actually change the light in the photograph without a lot of additional work. So that's 3D.
Now remember, you can ask John any question right here, right now, on Facebook Live. Just go ahead and post your question if you have any question. Last but not least, I know you work for Roomfl, which is a virtual staging company. Can you share more about your company, what you offer? And I also want to talk about pricing too, because sometimes we think that it's a little bit more expensive. I believe it's more like a time saver.
Yeah. Well, a little bit more about our company. So we're 4 people. We've got a marketing specialist, we've got 2 designers right now. Those designers, strictly all they're doing is creating 3D assets and building 3D interiors. Okay. And it can apply to a lot of different things, of course. However, we're focused on single-family homes primarily right now. We've had some interest by investment, real estate investors and architects as well. So we're brand new. We're still on a high-touch basis, meaning we don't really automate the experience for the broker. We actually do talk to the broker and say, what do you need? Give us some exemplar photographs of the rooms, things like that.
It's personalized staging
it's
there.
It's very personalized right now. Later on, we'll automate it, but based on our volume.
So you probably have a gallery just in case, a portfolio. You can say, okay, that's what we have right now, or we can personalize based.
And the one thing that we also, we had a recent case, or a customer case, where they said their house was very, very small, and the realtor was getting a lot of inquiries on what would the house look like with an addition. And we did an addition, and we actually virtually staged it. We didn't add all the colors, it was all white, but we actually added an addition to the house and made it on the exterior look exactly like the house with a second story on it. And so we're still waiting to find out whether or not that is a compelling argument for a buyer. That one was just very recent.
You can see how it could be in reality.
And so that's kind of on the custom side of things. Our pricing right now is this, that we're aiming to be in a place where you don't have any hesitation on buying the service. Right now, it'll cost you $1,000 to $1,500. I've heard as much on very, very high-end homes as spending $1 million in staging. $1 million.
That's a
in
little bit
stage.
too much.
Okay, that's too much for the broad market. So you know, staging takes a long time. It's picking out furniture, it's having furniture delivered, it's clearing out furniture, and it's a hassle. We want to simplify. We want to make it easy for you to buy our product too. So we're priced between $400 and $600.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
And for that $400 or $600, you get a choice of essentially 3 rooms.
And it's personalized staging. That's correct.
We're going to say, do you want a modern style? Do you want early American? Do you want mid-century modern? Okay, and we'll apply furnitures in that regard. So we'll pick different furniture, we'll pick different furnishings, different colors, etc.
What's the percent, do you think, of agents using virtual staging today?
Less than 1%.
No.
Yeah, no lie.
No I was guessing what we were talking about.
No lie.
15, 20%?
No, it's a brand new market. It's a brand new market. Less than 1. It's a brand new market.
It's going to be more like a market for the new gen than.
Well, I think all indications are that, you know, people are, you know, gone are the days where you spend 2 or 3 days driving around with a buyer showing them different properties. We're no longer doing that, right? So now, once again, you know, started at the top of the conversation, we're dealing in an information economy where it's almost a Tinder-like thing, swiping left to right on whether or not I like something.
I like how you put the Tinder into it.
So the reality is that we want to just arm you with what you need. But the problem is it's a new market. And there's some things that, you know, earlier cases where realtors have augmented photographs, but they didn't disclose that they did it. So with our product, we're actually putting in a watermark at the bottom of the photograph that says virtually staged by Roomfl. And so that eliminates any legal issues that you would have.
Right, because like right now it's very confusing.
Right.
I will not even think that it's virtual staging. It looks so
not at a glance. You may go, oh, wait a minute, did they refloor that? So
yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
So we want to really just, you know, be very transparent, say that things are virtually staged. We're just giving buyers an idea of what can be. Okay.
John, thank you very much for being here today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all of you. There is a question, so we have to wait. Do you have a large library of various decor to use? For instance, farmhouse, mid-century, country, etc.
Well, you know, you addressed a huge challenge for us.
This is Lisa.
Yeah, hi Lisa.
Hi Lisa.
You just touched on a huge challenge for us. We're a startup, and every one of our assets is built. Okay, and so now we're just building them. If you have furniture that you want to place into a home and want to send us a photograph, if you want to virtually stage with that stuff, we'll put it in. But right now, we're going to go, what style do you want to do, and we're going to recreate. We're going to create it for you. Okay, so we don't have a big warehouse right now, and we're working on it. Every new client we get, we have to add to that warehouse. So it's an
advantage for the people right now because they get personalized items for the home.
Right. The other thing I'll say to that is we don't want to affect your time to market. Okay, so we're going to work extra hard to build those assets in a very short time frame in order to still get you your listing up, get those photographs up, you know, very quickly. Optimally, we want 2 weeks. We've been asked to do it in 3 days, and it's happened.
Welcome
so depending on the circumstances.
We real estate agents, we want things now.
Well, so do we.
Today.
So do we.
I think not just real estate agent. I think it's everyone these days.
Everybody wants to go.
Now. Well, thanks everyone. Thank you, John.
My pleasure.
Bye everyone.
Thank you.